Hello everybody, thanks for having us. I'm Lisa Brase, this is my colleague Steffen Grünle. We are both Quiz Manager at the Universität Hamburg, and today we talk about using Pure to manage open access funding applications, the according research output and presentation at Universität Hamburg. So our university is one of the largest universities in Germany with 8 faculties, roughly 700 professorships and over 40,000 students. Our quiz is productive since November 2018. So far we have around about 65,000 publications in there, 2,600 running projects, 10,500 in total, over 10,000 persons, including 3,500 active users. So we have a big license, big university, large license. Our open access policy at the university says that there must be an openness of access to research, teaching, and continuing education. We are signatory of Berlin Declaration on Open Access to Knowledge in the Sciences and Humanities and the Budapest Open Access Initiative, which means that our university explicitly supports the goal of open access and open archive. To manage open access research output, corresponding proof is needed. So, first of all, you need to know how much is the article processing charge, and the second one is which fount is used for the APC. So we have two. We have a deal, that's a contract with publishers for specific journals. Mostly those are sciences journals. And we also have our own institutional open access fund as an additional incentive to publish open access. This is more for social sciences and humanities. So for both, you need a filter in Pure as a way to differentiate the funds and also to find a way to optimize visibility in our institutional quiz portal. How do we separate those different funds? So there are different possibilities of open access publishing. So you can general publish open access, then we have the deal contract and our internal fund. So for that, we created a keyword classification, which is needed to differ the ways of open access publishing. We have one keyword for the general open access. This was necessary to get a list of open access via the API in the end. Then we have one, of course, for deal and one for our internal one. More are possible if needed. So in the end, those keywords are used in our open access monitoring to track and separate. For the different keywords, we have different methods to set them. So first of all, the general one is set with the Pure API. All research output, so that was the first time we did this, all research output with the open tag in the electronic versions was filtered and the keyword was set. And to identify new entries, we match IDs, so we have on the one hand our list where the keyword is already set, on the other hand a list where we have all research output in Pure containing this open. So when we compare them, match the IDs, in the end we get a third list which we can use for our Pure API to write the keyword. For the deal contract, this is still done manually by a bunch of editors. It's a bit more complicated to create an automatism here, but we're working on that one. And for our own internal fund, we have a special method by using a form in our web content management system and the Pure API, which will be explained a bit more in detail by my colleague now.
Thank you, Liza. So the process of our internal funding includes in 2 steps, and as you can see here, the data flow from Pure to the web content management system in blue, and vice versa, and at the end it flows again to the web content management systems, and the results were presented. So Pure acts twice as a source of information, also for processing informations. I jump into the step 1. You can see on the WCMS, we decided to create the application form in our web content management systems, simply said because it's for the researchers much easier to access to it. Because we also get the necessary access informations like email and name from our identity management, and then it's for us much easier to realize it in WCMS instead of Pure. But we need Pure because, for example, we got the organizational structure. We use the Pure API, got the data, and we use it to assign the authors to the correct faculty and department, because the faculties and the departments get money in different parts to this internal fund, and they, of course, they know how much publications get from their faculty, and there we have to monitor it. And second, we pull data of the journals and the publishers, and we are doing some simple checks. For example, when the journal is includes in our deal contracts, of course, that the researcher cannot apply for this internal fund, and it's the same when the journal is not on the list of the DOAJ. Then we, let's say, expect that this is not a serious journal. We say when it's on the list and it's a serious journal, and isn't it when it's included, of course, then maybe then it's a predatory journal. This is such a simple check for us. I mean, it's maybe not the best check, but as first guess, we use this, and therefore we getting the publisher and journal information from Pure. And I jump into the application form. There are some, of course, known metadata fields like email, name of corresponding author, the ORCID, the faculty, which comes, as I mentioned, from Pure, the year of the publication, the language, obviously the title of the applied publication, the publication type, the name of the journal, which comes from Pure, as I said. And the publication status, and if it's available, the DOI, and most important thing, it's the APC. And when all these mandatory fields are filled, then the researcher can submit it, and when it's successful, then the first step is finalized, and automatically the second step starts. And the data are getting to Pure again. You can see it here on the right side. A new entry is generated by the Pure API in Pure with author information, title, journal, and all these metadata fields. And of course, our classification keyword that we can separate different funds inside of Pure. And when it's successful, then an email notification is sent by the WCMS to the editors and administrators, and automatically they check via validation workflow these new entries in Pure. And when it's checked again, then we push these data back to the WCMS next to beside research output activities and so on, and we present it on our institutional CRIS portal and on the personal web pages of the university. Here's an example of a filtered list of research output of the internal fund inside of our institutional CRIS portal. So this is one of the simple results that we can separate it. We use the filtering keywords, and on the institutional CRIS portal we also present some simple results. For example, how much money is still in the fund, and you can see for this year the money is empty, and the researcher has to wait until next of January. And this is everything in real time. Another example is here you can see that applications according to faculties in the internal fund, and as we expected, of course, the humanity faculty have most of the applications and not the social and not the natural sciences. So that's it from my side, and I give back to my colleague.
So I will give a brief overview about the mentioned validation workflow. So in our VCMS, once the form is filled in, the Pure API creates a research output in Pure, which is automatically set to approved. This is necessary, so this entry can only be altered by admins and editors. We're talking about APC, we're talking about money, so that's why it's set to approved. And once the research output is published, the according editors set the research output manually, in that case, to validate it, and it can be used for institutional reports. So to summarize all this, so what we did, we created a keyword classification to separate our funds in Pure. In our web content management system, we have an open access application form as a low threshold opportunity. The necessary metadata is transferred via the Pure API and creates a new research output. And in addition, the keywords will be used as filters for the rendering and evaluation in downstream applications, for example, the reporting, Chris Portal, personal websites, and so on. So future ideas, so of course we also want to use the Pure API to automatically set a keyword for deal-founded research output, but this is a bit more tricky because you need to know the journals, and also you need a filter for gold open access publications. The other idea will be a bit more easier, to have a filter for all fund-financed open access research output in our institutional Chris Portal. I think there will be something that will come soon. And last but not least, last year, we have a wish list to our colleagues from Elsevier. It would be nice to have, if you can create a list of research output with open access status via the REST API or the Pure API. It would also be nice if you can combine keywords using AND or Booleans in general. I think I wrote that ticket about AND, but it's about Booleans in general. Merging preprints and journal articles in Pure will be a big advantage. At the moment, you always have to change the article type, and after that, you can merge them. It would be nice if you can merge them more or less without changing the article type. And a better documentation of the REST and Pure API. Oh, thank you very much for your attention, and we're looking forward to your questions.
Any questions? This is because I gave the wrong impression that it was the end. It's not. Any questions at all?
All satisfied?
They were that clear. That's a compliment.
I interpret it so.
Well, then thank you very much. Lisa, Stefan, thank you very much.